Hello and welcome to my latest video about NetCents Technology. Welcome to the future. A lot of people asked me if I could make a video in English because they are not that well in German language, so I do my very best. Well, I'm not a native speaker in English, but I do what I can to make it as simple as possible for you to understand what is NetCents Technology, what are the milestones in the last months, and just give you the opportunity to think about if NetCents is a stock which you might want in your portfolio. First of all, NetCents Technology is a payment processing technology stock which is trying to connect the crypto payments and the cryptocurrencies with the usual fiat currencies. So, it's not that simple, because there are a lot of difficulties if you want to spend crypto in euro without any problems with the different validations of cryptocurrencies at all. So, what did they do and how did they do it? First of all, the board of NetCents Technology is pretty amazing, and they had a lot of trouble with things like how is it with terrorism financing, because cryptos are as easy to follow as the usual currencies. So they have a lot of people, one from China, they have people from Swiss, they have people from all over the world who are connected with banks, institutions who worked for the Fortune 500 and made them great. So that's the first thing, which I personally find very interesting. The second thing is that they are more than 10 years in the market, and the mission is and always was to connect these two sides. And right now it seems like it could happen. For a long time they want a cooperation with Visa, so that everyone who has a Visa card or the new Visa NetCents card to spend their usual money but with the opportunities of crypto payments, which means lower transaction costs, and it's not that easy to follow. Well, with a card, I don't know that exactly. So, now they have a really big credit line, 1.4 billion dollars, which means that they can fix the problem for many merchants that if they have to resell, give the money when they bought something and they want to give it back, that NetCents will immediately fix the problem that if the Bitcoin and so on is changing its value, they will give them the exact value of the coin which it was, in euro or dollar or what else. So, another big step is, first of all, the Visa card should happen in Canada. Right now there was like a lot of interest in America. They wanted also to use this crypto card, and so it's not only going to happen in Canada, it's also going to happen in America. Also, the NetCents network is implemented in one bank. That's what they also wanted, to make this network happen for banks, merchants and the end customer, which seems like it happened, and that's a great deal. On the other hand, of course, they can use arbitrage possibilities. What does that mean? That means if the Bitcoin is going up and down, they can hold the coins when it's going rapidly down and just sell them when they're up. That's what I think, at least. So, let's go to another stuff. Another problem of Bitcoin was that when Bitcoin became great in 2017, sometimes the deal was made hours later than when you paid it, because it hadn't enough capacity. So NetCents had a new Lightning network implemented, so that they can get more power when they need it. So if there are just two people using cryptocurrency via NetCents, they don't have to implement more power. But if 1,000, 2,000 or millions do this, they have a high network with power supplementing the different transactions. But it's a pretty good thing if there would be a lot of people spending their money with NetCents coins. So we have a good board. We have a lot of good things which were problems with cryptocurrencies. Besides, right now, if you use the NetCents network, you can pay. You don't have the cryptocurrencies in your card. You pay with euro, but use the good things from the crypto payments, and immediately the merchant is getting the money in US dollar, euro and so on, which is really great for most of the people. So, on the other hand, NetCents, the stock, the price isn't, in my opinion, mirroring what's happening right now. But of course, the hard numbers don't say do this investment. But on the other hand, they had a lot of more transactions in the last year. They are growing and growing and growing rapidly. And just if the system works for more merchants and they are happy with that, and on the stock exchange, usually the most efficient way of paying or of producing will after all make the run. So if the NetCents network works and the people see that the costs are lower than the usual ways, that would be amazing. And also, if you want to spend your money in another country, usually there are so-called Coro Nostro banks. So the bank, like in Germany it's the Volksbank for example, makes a remittance to the Landesbank, then it goes to the other country bank and then to the smaller bank in the country. So we have 4 banks, which gets a lot of fees and a lot of time which is used up here. So if you use the cryptocurrency method, you see in seconds if your partner with whom you do the transaction has the liquidity, has the money, and you don't have to wait for days. So it gets a lot faster. Especially for entrepreneurs who are buying stuff, is that really important, because immediately you can ship the stuff, the goods you want to buy, you wanted to buy, and you can have in mind that you will get the money without a problem. And if you are shipping the things, you know, okay, the money's there, the goods are away. So we have a lot of time which is possibly infected by this whole system, and of course you have lower fees, especially between country borders. That's a huge step forward. The other thing is, which is really interesting, that there are a lot of countries in the world which are underbanked. There are not that much people with an account from a bank. And the cryptocurrency method could give them the opportunity to get the bank account on their mobile phone, if they have internet and so on. And that's another great thing for the whole world, in my opinion, because they can participate in the banking system without even have a bank there, and especially in countries where corruption is happening and so on, that could be a pretty interesting thing. Another bad thing is the NCCO coin. The people from NetCents have a lot of people just to make the documents and so on, because it's still a new step for the whole world, for the whole people who check the documents from them if that's alright. And crypto is a new market, but it's a disruptive market. So the possibilities, the chance in between to the risk, in my opinion, well, the chance is higher. Otherwise I wouldn't be invested. But of course, we don't know what will happen, and the NCCO coin is still frozen. It should be a stable coin, which isn't like the Bitcoin going up and down. And so if this thing will finally be defrozen and you can use this opportunity, well, with the Visa card you have something like that. It's not a stable coin, but you have all the problems with the going up and down of the cryptocurrencies depleted. So, in my opinion, NetCents is a really interesting stock which might have the potential to become the next PayPal. Well, I hate the sentence. I read it so often the last days, but it's very interesting. And if you want, go check for yourself if these are things which are you interested in, and I hope I can welcome you to the happy investors of NetCents Technology and welcome to the future. I hope you like the video. Well, I'm not that good in English in this connection, but I hope you still got the most important stuff. Well, okay, thanks, bye.